Welcome back to another video. We've had so many questions about using artificial intelligence. We've had so many questions about how to use AI with our books. Today we're diving into that. Just for the disclaimer, I'm not an attorney. I do like to argue, but not with my fam, not with you guys. I've hired a trademark attorney and he's helped me copyright over 150 covers. So we've had tons of conversations about using AI, about what is the best use case for it. And so this video is covering the copyright from the US Copyright Office. They came out with some generative AI regulations, and this was based off of a recent lawsuit where somebody registered they applied to register their artwork that was generated by AI, and the Copyright Office turned it down. And so they hired an attorney and it turned into a lawsuit, and the artist lost the lawsuit to the Copyright Office. The judge sided on the Copyright Office for their rules, because in 1923, when the rules were invented, it said, you guys see me always hold my pencil up, you have to have a human touch in it. And so that is the way that the law has evolved from the beginning, is like we have to have that touch in our work. So if you're creating something digitally, it's important that you have a paper trail. Okay, that's an important part, because when you submit registration, you have to fill out stuff. You can see it actually here, where you have to go through like what you actually did to create this with the human touch. If you remember a couple of years ago, there was a photographer in the jungle and a monkey took a picture, a selfie, and there was this big dispute of like, did the monkey own the photo or did the photographer? Because the copyright rule in 1923 was like, where was the human touch, even though the guy owned the camera? So it gets a little wacky, it gets a little crazy. But the most important thing to think about is if you're publishing books on Amazon KDP and you are using AI, if you do not put the human touch in it, it's going to be really difficult for you to be able to pass an application process to register the work to protect it. If you do not protect it legally in that way, then it is open to interpretation for other people to use it too. And that has been the whole cloudy thing about AI, right? You saw in previous videos, or I have a video on this channel about ideogram and how you can actually find other people's covers for Amazon KDP that are generated on ideogram. And there's nothing wrong with that until you want to protect your work. So it is important to understand that when we are going to use AI, let's actually put the human touch into it. And you might be asking, like, how do I actually do that? And the best way to start is through prompting. So prompting is typing in things into ChatGPT, into Midjourney, into Dolly, into ideogram for centuries, right? For like decades. You've been able to trademark things that you write down, right? That's an authorship, poems, scripts. And so prompts are a form of writing, like typing on a computer, that allow you to own that. Okay. Now, if you're going to a website like promptbase.com, which is adorable, you can go in there and find your own prompts. You buy the prompts, you don't own the prompts. And so if you can get really good at prompt engineering, then you're going to be in a better position when you go to apply to register your copyrighted work with AI to be able to do that. And on top of that, you cannot copyright one cover. And remember, I'm not an attorney. This is just my experience of copywriting 150 covers with my copyright attorney. Okay. They were done in a series. And so what you would do is you create all your books. If you're using AI, keep track of all your prompts. And then as a collective body of work, that is when you would actually go and submit all those covers to be copyrighted legally. Some of you might be thinking, like, when I signed up for ideogram or when I signed up for Midjourney, I read the terms and conditions that said I own the copyright. So that is the agreement between you and Midjourney. That is not the agreement between you and the United States Copyright Office. That is separate. That you can go ahead and slap on a template for your copyright on the first page. I'll drop a template for you below, but that does not actually get you registered with the US Copyright Office, okay? And that is about an $85 fee to do that, and you can hire an attorney too. We're still waiting for my attorney to come on this channel. So if you need that bad, put Evan in the comments. That's his name, EVAN. And then I'll screenshot it and be like, Evan, look at all these people that want you on the channel. We'll just do a long interview. Him and I talk a lot on the phone. We just need to transition to Zoom and pop it in here for you guys to learn. So you can see on my screen here that in February, this was about 2 years ago, that there was a graphic novel and it was comprised of human authored text. Okay, the text was fine. It was protected because of that pencil mark, right? But it also included generative AI through Midjourney, okay? And that is where the things got a little sticky because AI generated it, and I don't believe in this particular lawsuit or application there was enough prompting to be included to be accepted and approved as a copyrighted work. So it was rejected. So what exactly does this mean for you and me and all of us that are making money with books on Amazon KDP or looking to do that? It's this section too that I've always talked about with Evan, and that as my background, you guys, I'm in art, in fine art. My senior thesis was like making a quilt out of hair. If you're like, that's creepy, I want to see it, type hair quilt in the comments. I have to go get it out of storage, but we should talk about it. Okay, so I digress. You guys know my ADHD does that. So the human authorship. So really, if you're going to continue to use AI, what we need to do is, you've seen this in previous videos, we're using elements of it. We're not just like, oh, AI did the title and all the inside, and I didn't add anything of my own. And like, we want to think about this as like, we are a prompt engineer and we're prompting different assets that we are then composing on a piece of paper, composing on a digital book like Canva, right? Like, we are taking these things and composing them and adding elements that now make it more of ours. So it is less likely for someone just to type in the same prompt and get that same thing. The cool thing, though, that I've talked to with the copyright attorney is that you can copyright and protect prompts. So that really opens the door. I feel like I'm kind of 5 years too early talking about this. Like, it's the wild, wild west of AI, right? So there's so many things to be thinking about, but it's good for us that are publishing and creating things with AI to be in the forefront, to be protected, and to know all the ins and outs of what we need to be doing. So some of the steps you can also start taking right now is, if you do have a coloring book line that is doing really well, get a sketchbook. Publish your own sketchbook on Amazon KDP and draw the things out there that you want to be in your book. So then you have this like necessary origin of the actual content of your cover, okay? It says, if a work's traditional element of authorship were produced by a machine, the work lacks human authorship. So I love like the movement of using hand drawing, sketching that, uploading that, digitizing that. Okay, that a lot of people do that with an iPad and they use Procreate. You guys know some of my first books, I need to get them out, were my kids' drawings. I literally took pictures of them and uploaded them onto notebooks, and those would be more protected. My little tiny kids' scribbles would be more protected than people who are making thousands of dollars prompting AI and their books are not protected. So for those of you that are making money online with your books, just think about this guidance for copyright application. You can see section 4 right above it. It says that, for example, a visual artist who uses Adobe Photoshop to edit an image remains the author of the modified image. A musical artist may use effects as a guitar pedals when creating a sound recording. Each case, which matters in the extent to which the human has creative control over the work's expression and, quote, actually form the traditional elements of authorship, okay? So when you are going to apply to protect your book, the more that you can put into, like when we talk about reverse engineering a book's profitability, the more you can put into the prep before you get to the live book page is going to be better, because that's going to strengthen your application when you actually apply for copyright. So to be able to, you can actually now submit work that contains AI. Okay, let's go to section A so you understand that, because some of you had incredible Decembers. I know a couple people personally that did 30,000, 26,000, 25,000 just in December, and they have been using AI in multiple ways. So they're amazing, and they're on the fringes of like what's happening in Amazon KDP with AI. One thing that's interesting about this application process is when you upload something to Amazon KDP, they specifically ask you yes or no if you used AI, and you click yes or no. If you click yes, they want to know images. If you click yes on images, they want to know if it was highly edited, barely edited, or they're surveying everybody to see how people are using AI. Along with translations, they're asking people for that too. But when you actually when you submit it, they want to know the software you use. Like they put Dolly in the default. So when you submit something for to be copyrighted, your registration application, they say you should not list the AI technology, which I think is really interesting. So you fill out the form as a general statement. And I'm like, maybe we need to have a whole YouTube video series on this with Evan, so we can go through the process of what it looks like to protect AI work. Okay. So if you have any questions about using AI, like your specific use case, you can put it in the comments of this video, because it is ever evolving, and as we learn together, we get better. I was also thinking like maybe I need to create something with my attorney that is about like the step-by-step process of how to create AI work that can be protected later on. At the end of the day, you have to go through the application process, and I can't approve it. My attorney can't approve it. It's literally Copyright Office, Library, Congress. Like it's them. But there are things that we can do now to protect our work. So if you would like a best case or use case from someone that has published a lot, has used AI, but is not an attorney, then definitely put in the chat what should we say, action plan, AI action plan, and we can go through that together. You don't have to do it alone, and I don't want you to be scared. I know a lot of people watch some of my videos like when my KDP account has been terminated or suspended, like it's the wild wild west. There's so many things, and I've learned so much. I'm so grateful for all my failures. I love you guys, and I will talk about this more because it's not going to go away. And if we can get on the forefront of it, it will be amazing as we are pioneering and adopting that generated AI, right? That artificial intelligence that allows us to sharpen our skills. We have the skills, but we're using AI to get better. I love you guys. See you in the next video.